My name is James Williams Jr. Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm about to redo this mess out of my hair, but I want to make this video. And this video is going to be on a touchy subject of racism. And excuse me for belching. However, it's a very important video on racism. It's not a racism video about putting down other races and shit like that, but it is a racism video to prepare people who are like me, who are of mixed ethnicity. Yeah, my hair still doesn't want to work right. I'm gonna wash this crap out tomorrow. I think I'm gonna stop using Blue Magic. Okay, so if you watch my other video about the incident with the old man in Rackham Room between 2 and 3 years ago, and how I went off. If you are of mixed ethnicity like me, you probably need to pay attention to this video. Alright? So a few times in my life I've had conflict, not just with people but within myself on being mixed. A lot of us mixed kids don't fit in. Let's get that straight right off the bat. We don't fit in. And 20% of our struggle is finding a place to fit in. That's the hard part. Fitting in, being accepted, and accepting oneself, and then not so much as like forcing the world to accept us or forcing the world to acknowledge us, but I'm right here. Don't talk about me like I'm not right here, which has happened a lot. It's happened a whole lot, and more so than not, as a 45, soon to be 46-year-old man, I've learned a few things about being mixed. See, when you're kind of mixed with black, it can be a double-edged sword, alright? Where if you're mixed with white, it's depending on what else you're mixed with. If you're mixed with white and Asian, and when I say Asian, that stems from all Asian ethnicities, legal and biological. Alright? Now I said that because biologically, Native Americans are Asian, and legally they are not. Same can be said with Filipinos, Pacific Islanders, Samoans, etc., etc. Just getting that out of the way. But when you're mixed with black, and you're mixed with the other stuff that I just mentioned, of any kind, it's a little bit more tedious to navigate through the world. Because when you're mixed with blacks, you come in a conglomerate of shades. Alright? So let me make that a little bit more clear. Alright. As a young kid, this has always been my true color. I never had a lot of friends. I only went outside to train in martial arts or street fight. And outside of that, I stayed in the house. I watched G.I. Joe. I collected G.I. Joe. I collected Transformers. I had no life. I also read the hell out of comic books because I was bullied the majority of my life for comic books, for toys, not being able to get girls to like me. You name it, I was probably bullied about it. So learning martial arts was one of the things that saved my life. And I'm forever grateful to be a martial artist. Now, the hard part of being mixed comes in because this long stringy stuff is actually curly. I got enough of that blue magic over there, right there, to land an airplane with no wheels on it in my hair, as you can see. See the grease? There you go, a little greasy. I don't like curls. In my early 20s, I learned about relaxers, and I used to use a couple of them, and they were great. Then people told me that it would destroy my curly hair structure, and that I would have to keep using them forever and ever. So I stopped. I started using Royal Crown and Blue Magic. And if you take care of your hair, you'll be fine. Except for my hair eats the shit out of grease, and then I can't either put enough or I put too much in. I also use baby oil. So, I do the best hair regimen I can because I want to grow my hair back until I'm 50, so I have 4 years to go after next week. I'm probably never going to cut it again anyway, if I can help it, because if my career ever takes off, I'm having a no haircut clause. You can dye it all you want. You can probably relax it if you can find some shit that's not going to destroy my hair and make me go bald, because we all know that military cat card, I look like the Avatar. Aang. Anyway, that being said, fitting in. Until we had the race war in my grade school, you know, or let me be more specific, or let me be more honest. In grade school, I just thought I was black. No. And nobody knew that I was mixed, not even me, until kids pointed it out. When my mom showed up for school for whatever reason it was, she showed up to school. And then everything went to hell in a handbasket when they all said, James, you've got a white mama. How do you have a white mama? How the fuck am I supposed to know? And that was generally my answer. Only I wasn't cussing. But, I don't know. My mom's not white. It's like, your mom's white. Your mom's white. Your mom's white as hell. And it's like, my mom's not white. Literally, my mom is probably as light as this damn shirt. So, now, when you do your ethnicity, you have a conglomerate of things that you will discover. So I'm going to be taking a DNA test soon to see how much Native American I have. I'm going to go shopping for 23andMe, and the other thing, I just got to get money, which I have to get paid. And my bills from the military go straight to bills from the military. So yeah, it's going to take a minute. Hopefully by next year I'll know, because if I can get if I have enough Native American DNA, I can get a little bit more easier fees for college or whatever, which I learned like a year and some change ago. Anyway, so it wasn't until like the 5th grade that I found out we were part of Native American. I just thought we were black, and I knew that we had a half white grandfather on my mother's side. I'm sorry, my toes itch. It's not proper to scratch your toes on TV. Anyway, so I knew we had a half white grandfather, and that my grandmother was either all Native American or half Native American, but being that she was adopted by a black woman, it's a long, treacherous story. So we just told everybody we were black. It worked out until it didn't. And so then, when a girl called me a nigger in class, and I punched in the mouth, and then all my friends that were white just straight hated me after that, but they didn't know that she called me a nigger. They just thought I was being a nigger, and decided to punch the white girl in the mouth. Now, in our family, we never use racial terms. We never call people niggers. We never call people honkies. We never call people chinks. We never did any of that racist shit. And so I didn't know about racism until we had to watch, like, Roots and stuff. And then the word, like, we never call white people crackers, and we never call anybody something that wasn't their name. And we watched Roots, and the girl called me a nigga, but we watched Roots at school, and we watched it at home because it was like assignments. And when she called me nigga, I don't know what happened. Street Fighter came out of me and right in the mouth. And then when we got through that ordeal, when I got into the 5th grade, and God bless Miss Conrad, because I would have never known about my Cherokee heritage if it wasn't for her. And we went through life not knowing. So I discovered, it's like, oh damn, I'm part Native American. What the fuck, And then as I go back, and I go back over the shit in my mind, I'm like, okay, so in the summertime, when I spent time with Grandma Ada, this explains that shit about moccasins. This explains her and her brother John frolicking through the woods because they couldn't ride the white bus, or they couldn't ride the black bus with the separation but equal thing, because Native Americans didn't have rights until 1924. And then they took all the identities from the Native Americans and started calling them mulatto, as the ones who didn't stay on the reservations were indoctrinated into city life. And the ones who did stay on the reservation eventually left the reservations to assimilate into the cities. So henceforth, my grandmother on my father's side married a Ford. She started off as a Wallace, and then she became a Ford. her daughter, Clara Bay, married a Williams. So my grandfather on my father's side was black. My father looks black. He has no Native American features at all. But his mom is Native American and black, or all Native American. I'm not sure, but I do know that her mom was all Cherokee Indian from the Powhite Reservation. Excuse me, Powhite Reservation. Powhite, Powhite is spelled Powhite when you drive down 64. Okay, might be 95, but whatever road it is, that's where she's from. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, I am 1000% human mutt. No, and I'm okay with that until I wasn't, because most of the time I have been mistaken for everything under the sun except for black people. And then with black people, it's just been reverse racism. A lot of white people have mistaken me for Hawaiian or Mexican or all Native American, which I've had to contradict that shit. And I tell them, no, I'm actually just part Cherokee, part black, part white. And it's like, oh, you don't look like you have that much black in you. You don't look like you have any white in you. I thought you were Cherokee all the way through. The same people who just called me a Samoan or a Filipino or whatever other Hawaiian type ethnicity that they gave me. And so, fitting in, because that's what this is about. I've taken up 11 minutes of your time and haven't told you about fitting in. There was a reason why I did that. So let me bring it all back around. Alright? So in grade school, until I was outed for being mixed, I fit in pretty good with black guys and girls. Except for a girl whose name starts with an S and a girl whose first name starts with an L. Now the girl whose the girl's name who started with an S, we had the same last name. I really had a crush on her, but I didn't know where her people were from. And since we had the same last name, not an option. We might not have been kin at all, but I'm one of those guys who has really bad luck. So yeah, not an option. But the girl whose name started with an L, her last name was Turner. So, option. Both hot, both red bones, and both told me, because they probably didn't know that they were mixed too, we don't date half-breeds. It was like one of the first times I heard that term. And I'm like, what the fuck is a half-breed? And in the honor of the show Mixed, it's going to be coming on ABC soon, it really set me back, because I was like, I'm not a half-breed. No, I'm a human being. Because to me, because I read comic books, I thought half-breed meant hybrid human alien. And I'm like, there's no aliens on Earth. What the fuck are they talking about? Later, it would really dawn on me. Once I got through Miss Conrad class, and once we got out of Berlin Moran and got into Walker, then it really started dawning on me that I don't fit in. I'm never going to fit in. I met other mixed kids, so then I did fit in with that crowd. But a lot of them were having the same racial identity crisis as I was. And they're like, well, I'm slightly cool, so I guess I'm black. I come from a pretty decent background, so I guess I'm white. And I didn't really meet anybody who was like me. It was 3. I met people who were just 2, because one's my bro and he's black and white, and my friend whose name also starts with an S and her last name starts with an M, she's black and white. And I sat there and I had a crush on her too. And I said, okay, so there's at least 3 of us in this school that are mixed, and they probably were called half-breeds too, but not like I was called half-breed. I mean, I was called half-breed all through Berlin Moran until we got the hell out of them. And when we got to Walker, not much changed except for the fact that my reading disability came back to bite me in the ass a few times, and certain people would tune that in. A special thank you to Clarissa. I don't remember your last name, but thank you for defending me in Miss Formalide's class on that day from PG. And then, I'm not giving the little asshole any credit, but for the people that, helped me get through life, Shout out, buddies. But when when everything was going down, it's like this asshole was mixed too. But the problem was he was a red bone, but he had black features. No, and that was a big deal. It wasn't a big deal to him because he's black and he's proud. Well, I'm not only black and I'm proud, I'm also Native American and proud. I'm also white and proud. I had to find out where I fit in. There's a problem there. I don't fit in. Because there's a saying, and I thank Kelly Hu for this and the show Martial Law. Because in Martial Law, there's a scene where Kelly Hu, who's playing Pei Chan, or Chen, and she goes something about her family. She says, okay, because I was born in America, I'm not Chinese enough for the Chinese, or I'm too Chinese for America, and I'm not Chinese, I'm too American for the Chinese. And that hit the hammer on the head with me. Because no matter who I spoke with, I wasn't black enough for blacks. I'm never going to be white, and I wasn't Native American enough for Native Americans. And I say that because, lovingly, I've only had one bad experience with Native Americans. Most of my bad experiences have come from black people more than white people, and then there was only one so far with Native Americans. All right, in the Native American experience, I was with the wheelchair basketball team, the Cardinals, and it was here in Charlottesville. They had the tournament, and I was talking to a Native American girl, and one of the head basketball players, I guess he was like her uncle or something, and she was like a high priestess child or a chief's child, and we were getting along pretty good. And she also was a participant in the wheelchair because she had like a bum leg or some shit. Very, very beautiful girl, very beautiful girl, and she was able-bodied. She could walk and play because a lot of people who are able-bodied don't play wheelchair basketball. And I can't play basketball worth for shit, so I damn sure can't play wheelchair basketball. And the thing that really stopped me was the time that the black guy knocked the Chinese guy all the way across the floor at CHS from the fucking halfway court line. I was like, nope, nope. I'll film, I'll go retrieve balls, I'll serve them food, but you're not getting my ass in that chair. Plus, when I really got into wheelchair basketball, Christopher Reeves had just got hurt. And I said, nah, because I'm kind of superstitious on shit like that. If I'm not in a wheelchair, I also feel like I'm disrespecting people in a wheelchair. It's like I'm kind of stabbing them and turning the knife because I can get out that chair and they can't. And I don't see that as a fair thing. Back to the story. So I was flirting with the girl, and she was flirting with me. And when she went away, one of her subordinates or whatever rolled up to me and told me not to talk to her anymore because I'm not a pure blood. And I had never heard that term before, not from my great grandmother Ada, not from my grandmother, not from my other grandmother. Never heard that term before. You're not a pure blood. And the first thing that I thought of when you said that shit was the vampire show on HBO, True Blood. That I was like, what? No, I was like, I'm not a fucking vampire. No, she was talking to me. Because most girls don't talk to me. Most girls don't even give me a second look. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, then he just rolled off. And I'm like, damn. So I guess he went in there and chewed her out because she only spoke to me like 2 more times. And then after the tournament was gone, she never even said goodbye. She just rolled the fuck out. And that fat lard bastard, pretty much, that could have been the woman that was going to marry me. But that all went to hell in a handbasket. And so that was the only really bad time I had with Native Americans. And I know you're wondering, what does this have to do with fitting in? As I said before I got into that story, I didn't fit in anywhere. By the time I got out of high school, I noticed, because that happened after, not too far after high school, I noticed that, I don't fit in. There are no heroes for people like me, which is why I wanted to make movies, to have a hero for people who are half Native American, half black, half white. And some of my movies, my characters have Chinese instead of Native American, because I found out that Native Americans were Asian, so it wasn't really a big fucking deal what the character was. In Dragon's Breath, I'm half Chinese. In Fallen Dragons, I am a trifactor. Because my mother is the daughter of a chief, but her mother is black, which is like one of the rare things. Because I think before I wrote the script, I had watched Rumble in the Bronx, and I thought that was interesting because Jackie Chan's uncle was marrying a black woman. It's like, okay, this could actually work. So I made it that my character, his last name was Lung, which is Chinese for dragon, and I would have a Chinese brother because my father was cheating on my mother, but at the same time, and we both were about the same age. So when my father would leave the Resi to go on business meetings, he would actually be going to China to live his double life with his actual full-blooded Chinese son. But then he would come home and spend half the time with us. But he wouldn't let us know what the hell the deal was until I met my brother in a fight. So you don't get to go into details of the whole story because I didn't have enough people to make the movie I wanted to make. The movie I saw in my head, the movie I wrote down, was not the movie that Fallen Dragons became, because I just couldn't get like 14 people, and then I needed probably 25 people because I needed a parent scene, and I couldn't get that. I couldn't find an older Asian man to play Native American, and I couldn't find a black woman to play black, and I couldn't find an uh, older Native American guy or black guy, whatever I couldn't find. I just couldn't find people. And I know you're thinking, what does this have to do with fitting in? It's getting there. The the choice was I had to make this movie because the studio that's here in Petersburg told me to go make a movie. Or at least one of the guys did. And I had no clue on where to start other than I needed a story and it needed to be good and it was a great story. The concept was great, and then I just couldn't get the people, which was the problem. I couldn't get the people. If I could have got at least 25 people and gave them the roles, I could have made a masterpiece, and it didn't work out. And the reason it didn't work out was because simply the fact that I just couldn't get the right people. I got the right people, I just couldn't get enough people. Because everybody held it down in that movie. The Bowie sisters, Adrian Cow, uh, God damn it, Eric Chen, Philip, whose last name I can't remember, Lewis, whose last name I can't pronounce because he's from Africa. Even my boy Bruce Johnson was in it, and then Jay Dez and I were the two main stars. I couldn't get one girl, and the one girl that I had, besides the Bowie sisters, she got mad at me because I wouldn't let her run up the wall and do a Captain America punch kick thing. I showed her what to do, and then she's like, I can do that. I said, nah, I'm going to let you do any kind of fight you want. I'm not going to let you do that. She's like, why? I said, because I don't have money to pay you, for one. And two, if you get hurt, it slows down production. And even though you probably can pull it off, she's like, what, you think I can't pull it off because I'm a girl? I'm saying, no, I know you can pull it off. I just don't want to be paying for your hospital bill because you're going to tell whoever or whatever, yeah, we were making this movie and James let me spring off this damn wall and I got fucked up. So she never came back. Hope she's doing well. So it's not the first time I've had, well, that was the very first time that I had somebody walk off before we could start filming. And it was easier to just keep going. And the Bowie sisters, they were both martial artists, and the only thing they had to do was fight Josh. And the only thing I told Josh was, whatever you do, don't hit the girls. You can hit me. I'm good at taking hits because everything Josh and I do, he is forever clucking me at least one or two times. And it's all good. When you're making a movie, accidents happen. They were accidents, right, Josh? And if they weren't, good job anyway because they made good shots. I think the only real accident we had was when he slammed my head into that alert phone in the parking lot. But that being said, fitting in and being mixed is probably the hardest thing a mixed child will have to do. So I'm 24 minutes in and I'm going to have to make a second part to this, and I'm sorry.